2, 1, go!
Hey everyone, welcome back once again in your biology class. This is Nausin and you are watching Educational Support. If you like this video, then share it with your friends, and if you want more videos, then subscribe this channel. In my last video, I was asking, what did you know? Why our skeletal muscles are multinucleated? So the answer is, skeletal muscle generates heat as a byproduct of their contraction and thus participate in thermal hemostasis. So the cells are multinucleated as a result of the fusion of the many myoblasts that fuse to form each long muscle fiber. So the daily routine of an average person is loaded with lots of activities like walking, running, writing, typing, and so on. We know that muscles in our body help us in doing all these activities. But how? How it is possible? In simple terms, we could say that muscle contraction and relaxation is the main principle. So today we are going to learn about skeletal muscle contraction and relaxation. So let us see the mechanism of skeletal muscle contraction and relaxation. Mainly, 4 phases involved in the mechanism of skeletal muscle contraction and relaxation. Process of excitation, contraction, coupling, process of muscle contraction, and the last one, relaxation, and the next is isotonic and isometric contraction. So now we are going to focus on process of muscle excitation. This events link action potential in the nerve fiber to generate the action potential in the muscle fiber. So this step involves from step 1 to step 5. Nerve signal opens voltage-gated calcium channels, and calcium stimulates exocytosis of synaptic vesicles which containing acetylcholine. So then acetylcholine releases into the synaptic cleft. So this is the step 1 and step 2 of muscle excitation. Binding of acetylcholine to receptor proteins open sodium and potassium channels, resulting in an end plate potential or EPP and resting membrane potential from -90 MV to +75 MV and back to -90 MV. So this is the step of 3 and 4 of muscle excitation. Voltage change in end plate potential opens nearby voltage-gated channels, producing an action potential. So this is the step 5 of muscle excitation. Next, we are going to focus on excitation, contraction, coupling, and this steps from 6 to 9. So this events link action potential in the muscle fiber to the release and binding of calcium ions. When end plate potential reaches to the threshold level, it produces action potential, which propagates over muscle fiber and through it along T-tubules, that means transverse tubules. So action potential spreading over sarcolemma and down T-tubule, causing calcium gates to open in sarcoplasmic reticulum. So this is the step of 6 and 7 of excitation, contraction, coupling. In step 8, calcium released by sarcoplasmic reticulum binds to the troponin. And in step 9, troponin-tropomyosin complex changes and exposes of active sites on actin filaments. So this is the step 8 and 9 of excitation, contraction, coupling. Next is process of muscle contraction, and this steps from 10 to 13. The sliding filament mechanism of muscle contraction. In step 10, myosin ATPase in myosin head hydrolyzes an ATP molecule, activating the head and the cooking of myosin head in an extended portion. So in step 11, it binds to the active site, forming a cross bridge. So this is the step 10 and 11 of muscle contraction. In step 12, myosin head releases ADP or phosphatase as it pushes the thin filament past the thick filament 1. And in step 13, with the binding of more ATP, the myosin head releases and extends to the attached to a new active site. So this is the 12th and 13th stage of muscle contraction. Now we are going to focus on muscle relaxation of a muscle fiber. So this event leads from the secretion of a nerve signal to the release of the thin filaments by myosin. Nerve stimulation ceases and acetylcholinesterase removes from acetylcholine from the receptors. Stimulation of the muscle cell also ceases. So this is the step 14 and 15 of muscle relaxation. Active transport needed to pump calcium back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum. ATP is needed for muscle relaxation as well as muscle contraction. And calcium ion is reabsorbed by sarcoplasmic reticulum. This is the step 16 of relaxation. In step 17, loss of calcium from sarcoplasm moves troponin, tropomyosin complexes over active sites. ATP binding and the cross bridges detach. So this is the step 17 and 18 of muscle relaxation. So this is the overview of calcium ions in muscle contraction. In case of muscle contraction, calcium ions binds to the troponin and causes changes troponin-tropomyosin complex and uncovers the myosin binding sites on actin. But in case of muscle relaxation, troponin holds to tropomyosin in position and also block myosin binding sites on actin. So this is the overview of calcium ions in muscle contraction. Muscle contraction are two types, that are isometric and isotonic contraction. So here I am presenting the features of isometric and isotonic muscle contraction. In case of isometric muscle contraction, length of the muscle are remain same. But in case of isotonic muscle contraction, length of the muscle shortens. So tension increases during the contraction in case of isometric muscle contraction, but there is no change in tension in case of isotonic muscle contraction. Mechanism of isometric muscle contraction are sarcomere which shorten due so by stretching this which don't. But in case of mechanism of isotonic contraction are shortening of individual sarcomeres adds up to the shortening of the whole muscle. So no external work is done in case of isometric muscle contraction, where external work is done in case of isotonic muscle contraction. So the examples of isometric muscle contraction are trying to lift heavy weights and weights are not actually lifted. And the examples of isotonic muscle contraction is lifting of weights. So these are the figure of isometric and isotonic muscle contraction. So here I am presenting objectives we have seen are process of excitation, contraction, coupling, process of muscle contraction, relaxation, and the last one is isotonic and isometric contraction. You enjoyed this lecture, so keep watching and keep learning. In the comment section, you can tell us was this video is easy, or if you have any doubts, then please put down a comment under this video. Subscribe this video, like and share it with your friends, family, and also press bell icon right next to it, and happy watching. To know more about the muscular tissue or any other related topic, keep visiting Educational Support. Thank you.